ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ LCU-ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಲೋಕೇಶ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್, ಈಗ MCU ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಣಿರತ್ನಂ ಸಿನಿಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಥರ ಕನಸಿದೆಯಾ ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ? ಆಸ್ ಅ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ.
I know Mani sir is thinking of something in that zone, but I cannot tell you that.
Sorry, அங்க ladies ரெண்டு பேர் they want to ask something.
லோகேஷ் கேட்டுட்டு அதுக்கு அப்புறம்
ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
My question is to Krisha ma'am. Yeah, since we have seen a lot of princess characters in various South Indian movies, what I feel is Kundavai stands little different because of her hairstyle, the accessories she uses, and even in Karnataka, a lot of females got a photo shoot done with the same look, and it was trending and viral as well. So my question is, how did you personally enjoy, and did you do any research as such about the look of Kundavai? So what do you have to say on this?
I didn't have to do any research because day one when I walked into Mani sir's office, there was a whole load of researching that was already taking place and had been done. And Eka and her team, I mean, I have to credit them for the look, for working hard. And we worked for 6 months prior to filming. And so we had enough of time to experiment. I mean, the bun, yes, I think took about 3 months to, you know, fix, because we didn't know how to do it. And
not every day, not every day, just the idea, right?
Just the idea, yeah. Once we fixed it, it was fine. No. But it took 3 months to get that. We tried a small bun, it wouldn't sit, and then medium, and then large. Oh. And we've used different sizes. Like for a coronation scene, Sir wanted a little more of a queen look, you know, a princess look. And for like the romantic scenes, he wanted a shorter bun, so it was very challenging. And like you said, I mean, so many people have played princesses, but this is so special to me because of, I loved playing dress up. It was fun. And it touched me beyond anything when I saw so many people, starting from like children to, you know, adults, posting reels to me, tagging me. I mean, I'm just wondering, I was like cribbing here and there because we were shooting. I'm like, these people just did it just because they loved the role and they wanted to like show it to me. So it's definitely one of my top 5 most favorite characters I've played.
Okay, thank you.
I have to say one of my top 5, no?
Yeah, hi. This is actually Jemima here, and this is for all of you. My question is that these are all literary characters, and what was your point of reference? I mean, like you were saying that before you walked in, every research was done. But in terms of approaching the character, for instance, did you read anything else other than Kalki? I mean, Kalki's Ponniyin Selvan, or did you read Ponniyin Selvan at that point, or before? All of you actually. At what point did you want, like you were saying that you wanted to play Karikalan Vikram. So at what point did you...
For me, it's like, when I was young, I heard stories, I hadn't read it then. I was always fascinated with Karikalan. I was under the impression that he burnt his leg. Kari is coal and Kal is leg. So as a child, I used to think he burnt his leg and that's why they call him Karikalan. So he's a tough guy. So I started thinking I wanted to be him. So later I got to know that's not the story. And you know, my mother used to narrate the story to me. Then later when I was doing this, when Mani sir approached me, all of us, I think we all read the book, and once you read the book, you kind of understand. It's like you envision something, like anyone. I mean, all of you will have, like let's say there are about 100 people here. If you read the story, you'll have 100 different versions of Aditya Karikalan. You understand? So like that, I had a version, Mani sir had a vision. And always you judge the director. His decision is final. So he had this vision, and mine kind of was in sync with that. And we worked towards that. And the difficult part was, the language we speak, we didn't want to speak archaic Tamil which no one understood. At the same time, we can't speak normal Tamil. So we spoke something midway, but the idea is it was still Sen Tamil. It's not the Tamil we speak. It is proper chase Tamil. But the idea was to speak it like, you would say, hey, hi, just get me that stuff, keep it here. You know, what are you doing? I'll meet you later. That was the way we said. It's not a, hey, what are you doing? Sit down. So that was the problem I felt. I think most of the actors must have felt. Trying to be normal with that language, wearing that outfit. It's very difficult actually at being a prince or a princess, wearing armor or wearing jewelry, doing your hair, and then going and performing. There is a different body language. Like there's this particular scene where I had to walk and come. I thought I did a great job. Manisha said one more. They said, can you see the monitor? I normally don't see the monitor. I saw it and I was like walking like some guy out of college. Like, it was not princely at all. Then I realized, okay, I have to change my walk. So there is something there. And the director was always there to guide us through that. And I think that's from my point of view.
Did you guys read anything else other than that to sort of like, get into the region and the history of the time?
Of course, you have to read the book multiple times.
Not just that, anything else?
I'm answering your question. So, for me, the difficulty was, it's a 3,000 page book which is compressed into a 300 page script. So, for example, Vandiyathevan meets Kundavai multiple times before they can speak to each other. But whereas in the movie, I'm meeting her only once. But all that has been written so far in the book has to be transpired in that one meeting. So unless you read the book and take in all that Vandiyathevan carries all through, you cannot represent the right Vandiyathevan. So I had to go back to the book and not just stick to the script. I had to go back and read the scene from the book once and again on the script and then come to the scene. So Mani said the first thing, if I raised my voice, he would say, did you read the book or the script? He would say. He said, stop reading the book. You have to stick to the script. So then, since my character is the only person who's traveling through the kingdom and is meeting everybody else, I somehow felt I had to understand a common man's point of view in 10th century. There are no accounts of common lives anywhere in the history. So I had to read travelogues. I had to read Silappatikaram where there are accounts of common man's lives. For example, there is one reference where Kovalan and Kannagi, if you have read the book, Kovalan and Kannagi, they go from Pumbuhar to Madurai in search of a livelihood. And they're crossing a river. Just before they cross the river, there is an account, because it's written in 4th century, there is an account where they say people stand and pray to the river before they cross it. Because river was the life source for everybody. And that one thing stuck to my mind, and when we were shooting the song, I told this to Mani sir and he made me do that. So there were a lot of references from history and poetry also to prepare for this character. That's my effort. I don't know how successful I was in bringing it on screen, but I did read through a lot of it.
Hi sir. Sir, this is Madan from TV9 Digital. I would like to know that what were the reactions you received when PS1 released from the younger generation audience, because they usually think that history is boring when we study, so for me this film, these kind of films matters because they pass the information to the next generation. So on this aspect, what kind of reactions you received?
I think the craziest crowd was the younger generation in the theatre. And the very old people who've never been to theatres for almost 20 years or 30 years, they came in wheelchairs and they were carried into the theatres. They were the ones. And you see if you just check on YouTube, see any of the reviews or reactions, it's all the younger generation who's saying, superb, we love this is the kind of thing, history and blah blah. I don't think they'll go to a history class. But they definitely went to the theatre and Manisha made sure that with the popcorn and the Coke, they also had a very good film to watch. And they learned their history.
In fact, there's so many tours organized in Tamil Nadu where there's an entire journey from Chennai to all the way to where Aditya
No, from Bangalore one.
There's so many bikers
from
who
Bangalore
came to just explore that path to see where this story happened. Now people have been exploring it. There are so many historical tours happening now and people are very, very interested to know more about the history. See, this film is only a fiction based on history. But this has created so much interest around the history of the entire India, I would say. People have started taking more interest in history. Because so much of history we don't know. We don't read about it, but there is fascinating information there.
Welcome, sir. Yes. So, few Kannada actors also associate with this movie, like Prakash Rai, Kishore, and Aishwarya Rai. Can you throw a few words on them?
Jala. He's a good friend of all of us. He's a great actor to work with always, and I think his character, I love the scenes with him and Trisha. I think he's already done Gilly with you as, that he was a pair. There's another one where he's a father, no? No, but as a father, but in this, I felt the relationship between you and him was very different because he's ailing, he's not well, and she's someone who's like a son in their relationship. Regarding Kishore, I think is one of those very talented actors who's been, I like not just him as an actor, he's very intense, but he's also someone who's into green earth and into farming and agriculture, and is someone I've spoken. I've not had any scenes with him as such, but when I did meet him, I told him I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I think he's a very, very intense actor. He's good. Aishwarya Rai, I think all of you know, right? And I've already, she's great to work with, and I think you'll love her in this film. You'll love her or you'll hate her, but you can't ignore her.
Hey, and other groups, right? First of all, thank you so much for accepting these roles, right? You are new heroes of old memories and identity and representative of the old memories. So first of all, thanks for myself and Sugan to accepting these roles, right? And then the next question is, since when you traveling long to this PS1 and PS2, right? And I know Vikram, but you are charming boys, right? So this is a history film, right? So always little serious and also little fun, right? So since you have to change your scope and everything, right? So what you feel, the what two things is you feel very difficult to represent the character in Ponniyin Selvan. What you learn, two things as an actor and giving advice to others who accept the historic films.
It's very difficult to act as a good person, sir. It was very difficult, sir. Yeah, because for a bad guy, you have different emotions. But a good guy has to suppress all the emotions. So for me, it was very difficult to suppress all the emotions, actually. So when I look at somebody, I shouldn't have hate. The look has to be suppressed enough that I don't hate you. I welcome you, kind of a look. I never know how I came up with the look. I think that I've done my job properly. From that basis, I'm speaking now. So to be pleasant is very difficult. To be that good person, Mani sir he just injected a lot of emotions in me about the great Rajaraja Chola. So, and I didn't want to, sorry to say, but I didn't want to copy anybody in this particular character, because the greatest Shivaji Ganeshan sir has done as Rajaraja Chola. I didn't watch that before the shoot, because if I watch that, I will exactly act like him. I know there is no way that I will be different than him, or I can't even match up to him in 10%. What I did was, I believed in myself, I believed in the script, I believed Mani sir, I believed Kalki, and I believed God that this will be done properly in my own way, and I tried doing it. And that's the belief that I still have, that, find your own way, and that is taking me forward. I think that helped me move all these days. Thank you.
For me, I would say historical films, you need extreme strength. You have to be extremely fit to do a period film to begin with, to carry the armor, to be able to ride the horse, to do all the action. And the speed which Manisha shoots, what you shoot in 10 days will be shot in 4 days here. So imagine you should be like an athlete to be able to do it. So it's a lot about physical fitness. But apart from that, I think my role was something which so many people wanted to do it. So there is no second thought about it. It's only the fear of doing it right and making sure it comes out well. And one more thing is, when you do a classic something like this, which is written 70 years back, you will be remembered forever. This is a kind of a film where if you're just part of this film, you'll be remembered forever. You become a part of the legacy here. So I think that way we're all blessed that, our identities are very different now. So many people who call me VT, they call me AK and PS. So our identities change when you do a big classic film, something like this. So that way we're all blessed, and it's definitely a sheer joy and learning. I would say this film put to test all that I've learned all these years. It definitely tested me as an actor. Thank you.
Hi.
Day by day you are looking so young and so beautiful. This question applicable to both Vikram sir also and you. So is there any tips for girls and for boys?
Girls, you are born beautiful. Boys, bathe in donkey's milk every day. If you can find a donkey. And of course, makeup helps, and computer graphics. I'm sorry, I'm answering to you.
I think
Sweetest thing to say.
jeans, like good jeans.
Jeans, apart.
And yeah. Tata Party. And I think just be happy, do what you want, don't think too much about what people think, say. It really helps. A lot of how you look is everything that's happening within you internally. And I have come to realize that over the last 5 years. So just stay happy and positive. It's hard, I know, don't take in too much stress and yeah.
As you said it, you started looking even more beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Last one question.
Sir, Vikram sir.
Request, last one question.
Lokesh sir.
Sir, Lokesh.
Sir,
Lokesh, 4 questions you asked. Anybody else wants to ask?
Please, yes.
Lokesh, you finished.
Last one
Sorry,
question.
Lokesh, ask. No, Lokesh, ask. Chipao.
Please pass the mic.
2 more questions?
Sorry, Lokesh will talk to you later.
No, Lokesh, we ask after the thing. Okay? Anybody else?
Hello. My question is.
My
question is to Vikram sir.
Yes.
Compared to Bahubali, I don't know whether it is right or wrong. I don't know. This question is actually in particular we look into the story. It is a fictional story. Actually, Bahubali and Triple R, it is a fictional story, and mostly the Rajamouli is mostly worked on the character. Just we look into the character, the Mahishmati, and then Bahubali and Katappa. These are all the character. It's affect to your bones, to your hair, and it's the thrilling feel and goosebumps also. So, but it is the real story, and do you believe in that? This is a negative effect to the story because the character are just a copy paste because of this is the real story. So that's why I have a question. It is a negative effect to audience.
That is, you can create anything you want. Right?
Yeah.
No, but ours is also fictional. It's based. Oh, you're saying they used our characters in Bahubali?
Yeah.
Oh, that we'll talk to Rajamouli and give that. I didn't know about that, but I enjoyed Bahubali and I loved that film. This is a different film. I think it's how a director wants to present a film. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'll just see the larger picture. I think that being the biggest hit of all times in India is because of a reason. He made it that way, that bigness and the way he did it, and that shocked us into result. But Mani sir, what he thought is, he wanted to make it as true to the book as possible, and also he was thinking because it's to do with a lot of our culture, and he wanted to make it as a reference point. Like when you think of Vande Devan, you should think of Karthik. This is what he wears. You think of Arunmoli Varma, you should only think of how he looks. See, here we could have worn a crown, we could have had armor, could have been in gold, and we could have had 100, 2,000 elephants. But what would have happened in reality then? He will be wearing leather. He's also a prince, but he will have leather. If you notice, he wears one outfit. Poor thing, the Tannila wash, but he's stiff-eyed, he became like this. If you notice, he'll keep on doing that. Say, why? He had only one. He's a crown's prince, but he didn't have a crown. He only has a turban. I am also a prince, but I had only one jewelry, because we want to stick to realities. That's Mani sir's idea of it. I think Bahubali worked for that, and Mani sir's worked for this. And they're two very different films. And I don't think we can compare or say that any of our characters was there in Bahubali. I don't think that makes sense. Because I've seen both. It's a very different movie, with due respects to your... Yes?
So my question is to everyone on the dais. Actually, I want everyone to answer this. So what are your thoughts about the kind of films that is made in Kannada industry? That is one question. And Trisha ma'am has already done a straight Kannada film with Ponniyin sir and all 3 gentlemen on the stage. And what are your thoughts about doing a straight Kannada film?
I would love to. I was supposed to in fact work with Puneet before he passed, and I really regret that. And every time I come here, my first thought is him because we were so excited about that film. It was called Dvitva. So yes, if something is challenging, because I loved that script, I loved my character in it. So if something is as challenging as that, and like Vikram said, I mean, cinema is so global these days. Everything is watched by everybody. I would love to do a straight Kannada film. I'm very, very open to it. And sorry, your first question was...
What are your thoughts about the recent Kannada films that are being made in the recent times?
Hats off. Starting from, KGF and then Kantara. I watched all of them. Kantara, in fact, twice. Hats off to you guys. I mean, you're making some great cinema, and it's like I said, since it's global, I'm so proud to be part of cinema. It's the right time to be in cinema.
Okay, thank you so much. We are concluding the question answer round. Thank you.
They are yet to answer actually. So Vikram sir. please.
I think you guys are rocking. The moment I saw KGF, I called Prashant and told him he'd done a fantastic job and we should work sometime in the future. Likewise, I think Rishabh rocked it. It's very difficult to be an actor and to direct and to concentrate in the shoot. It's very difficult. I mean, I've directed some small stories and stuff. It's very difficult to do both. But he did both with such, such skill. And I thought the energy in that movie was beautiful. And I've also watched about 2 or 3 times with my family. And I think your industry, KGF was, I think, the eye-opener for all of us because your industry is pretty small. But they could have thought, this is the budget, let's do this. But it's not like the first part did well, so let's do better this. The first part itself, you decided, let's do something big. That is a vision, and I think that worked. Kantara, on the other hand, was this dark horse that is a good film. You didn't realize how good it's going to go, but every state celebrated. Like I said earlier in Tamil, we loved that film. I loved especially the last 20 minutes, hats off to Rishabh and the team. It was beautiful. We love your films, and I think all of us would love to work in your films. I'm open to that. All of us are open. And like Rishabh says, there's no language. It's the same.
I think it's a new wave. They're rocking everywhere. I think would say start from Lucia, U-turn, then Garuda Gamna. I think all these films have been fabulous. They're completely redefining Kannada cinema or the opinion about Kannada cinema. The performances are fantastic. The visual, like even Vikrant, the visuals were so good. You wonder where were these people so far? Suddenly everybody is doing fantastic work, and one after the other they're coming up with, it's just not one film and it went away. Kannada cinema is bringing with great films one after the other. I met Rishabh 2 days back. He said the Part-2 is already, the prequel is already started. So I think they're doing a great job, and we're very proud. We're all very proud of that.
Can I also add?
Please, sir, please.
No, I think KGF, I'll answer it very short. What I witnessed, what I noticed, I would say KGF broke the language barrier in India. Kantara broke the religious barrier. I thought belief is the religion. I really thought. What I noticed. And to add on to that, not only Kannada movie, RRR is going global now, So everything is being broken. There is one entity which I can see, and it is beautiful. And India is heading to that beautiful space where every one of us is going to be noticed globally, and Kannada cinema has contributed too much to that. Hats off to that, and I would like to act in a Kannada movie.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sorry to add on to that. The love that you shared for PS1, the press and media, you came to Chennai, you gave us so much love and supported us. And for PS2, I heard you guys arrived there and there was some mishap. As a team, we would like to say sorry for that. In spite of that, you are here to support us and to show your love. That shows your nature. Hats off to you all. And please keep supporting us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, please. We are done with the questions, please. Okay, now we have to move on. Thank you, dear. Okay, first of all,